we have an update on Sha'Carri Richardson, and we did talk about her last week, so I'll link this in the description down below. Um, but I kind of expected this to happen since that she was banned for a month. And like I said, we did talk about that. She has been left off the U.S. relay list, and as a result, she won't be running at the Tokyo Olympics. This is honestly something that we both expected because, again, like I mentioned, she was banned for a month. We talked about that last week, and I'll link that in the description down below. And I have a statement from the USATF. It says, and I quote, while our heartfelt understanding lies with Sha'Carri, we must also maintain fairness for all the athletes who attempted to realize their dreams by securing a place on the U.S. Olympic track and field team. And the statement said it was, quote, incredibly sympathetic towards Sha'Carri Richardson's accentuating circumstances and fully agrees that international rules regarding marijuana should be reevaluated, which I do think it should be the case as well. Let me start off with this first, Mario, okay? But before I do, this article was written by ESPN News Services. So let me go first, okay? We talked about this last week, and when it first came out, I needed time to think about it, because I work at the Home Depot, okay? And my job strictly says you cannot smoke weed, you cannot do drugs because you're operating heavy machinery. You're operating with large boxes that are over 300, 400, 500 pounds. So you obviously can't be coming to work intoxicated or high as a kite or jumping off Xanaxes and operating these things, because someone's going to get seriously hurt, which can result in death. Same thing in sports. You can't do that to a certain level. You can do certain things as long as you get the permission or whatnot. Some things are fully legal, things like that. But I gotta be honest, I had a lot of time to think about this. It's just stupid. I really do believe this is dumb. Weed is not a performance enhancer. If anything, weed slows you down. I'm going to be honest with you. I've smoked a lot of weed in my life. When I say a lot of weed, I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars of weed. I've smoked a lot of weed in my life. I can tell you for sure that stuff slows you down, if anything. You know what I mean? So, honestly, Mario, it's not a performance enhancer. We all know this. It's mostly like a coping thing. It's like a coping mechanism. It makes you chill. Like I said, if anything, it slows you down more than it advances you. You know what I mean? So, honestly, Mario, I don't like any of this. And now I do understand it from the other side too. At the end of the day, you have rules to follow. You can't smoke weed. I completely 100% understand that. Again, I work a job that's exactly like that. I play sports that's exactly like that. So I have to follow those rules. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just so dumb because I feel that I reckon there's a lot of athletes out there that do performance enhancement drugs. There definitely are. Without a doubt, there are. But the thing is, they don't get caught. And when they do, they face heavy fines and heavy suspensions and punishments and things like that. You know what I mean? So honestly, I don't know why she's getting so much. Like a lot of people are like, oh, well, she deserves this, and that. Like, honestly, yeah, obviously she broke the rules, and yeah, you do have to be punished for that. But it's just weak. Like, you act like she took a steroid and all of a sudden became Usain Bolt as a female. Like, come on now. Like, y'all need to chill. But at the end of the day, I really had time to think about it, and I look at it on both sides. It's pretty stupid because it's weed. Weed's not a performance enhancer, but also at the end of the day, you have to understand she is an athlete in the Olympics, and you can't do this. But I do think that this is stupid. I do think that the weed thing should be lifted because, again, like I said, it's not a performance enhancer. It doesn't really. I mean, if anything, it slows you down, it keeps you chilling. That's really it. So take it from me. I used to smoke weed all the time. So with that being said, to Sha'Carri Richardson again, I wish her the best of luck. As for the Olympics, I'm not sure what's going to happen to the Olympics because we're going to talk about this in another video, how Japan's under a state of emergency. So I'm not even sure what's going to happen with the Olympics this year. But if they do manage to continue, I do wish them the best of luck. And I'll pass on to you, Mario, see what you think.
Right. Well, first of all, this whole thing with Sha'Carri Richardson, obviously, this has been a major topic in sports. Going back to when she originally tested positive, she said that it was because her biological mother died and she used it as a coping mechanism. I completely believe that, because that's what it is. It's a coping mechanism, It could be that as well. Obviously, if you're feeling depressed and everything, people smoke weed too. Again, take their mind off of it. Again, make themselves a lot chill, like you said. I did a little bit of research, Nate, okay? I did a little bit of research. And the first question I researched was this, okay? I researched how long can marijuana be in your system for the drug test to actually like reveal it. Okay. A urine test can detect marijuana for approximately between 3 and 30 days after use. Okay, now listen, right?
Yeah, around like a month. It depending on because you can also drink water to get it out of your system, so it can go out a lot faster.
Right. Now listen to this right here. Saliva tests can detect marijuana for approximately 24 hours after use. Some saliva tests have detected marijuana for up to 72 hours. I completely agree with you. I think it's a stupid rule, but I think the rule needs to stay in check at a certain degree. For example, if a person decides to smoke weed right before the race or whatever, and they smoke a lot of it and they get high to the point where they can't even, it's again, that could possibly be something unhealthy.
Yeah,
Obviously you're not
absolutely.
allowed to drive while being high because your vision is affected, correct? Okay. So if this was a case to now again, do I think that she was high when she was racing? Most likely not. Okay. I think she probably got tested positive for she tested positive for something that happened before. Like she talked about, her biological mother died, so she probably smoked it that day. I don't think she was high when she was running the race. I said in the last video, when they took her awards and everything, her medals and whatever she had, that was messed up. That was completely messed up. I think she earned those medals. Personally, here's what I would do. I'd go to the Olympics. I'd be like, look, get a select, okay, 3 or 4 days before the actual event starts for these guys, have them take a saliva test. Okay. If they test positive, then here's what I will say. If you find out after they test positive, then so be it. Okay. Then so be it. All right. Make them take another saliva test. That's probably like 24 hours. Okay. If they test positive, then you make an action. Okay, it's as simple as that. But if it's something that was like, oh, like according to this, a urine test, 3 to 30 days. If it's something that from 2 weeks ago, then I don't understand why you're gonna punish them this much. Seriously, she is not allowed to be at the Tokyo Olympics for 2 events, all because of one time of smoking weed, which it does prove to you again. One mistake could definitely lead to a lot of big impact consequences. We talked about this. But the other thing is, Nate, these weed rules, they are absolutely extreme. Now, I talked to you about this before we started recording. I could say it's stupid. You could say it's stupid. The celebrities could say it's stupid. But at the end of the day, that does not matter what we think. You know why? Because the Olympics are not like the NFL. The Olympics are not like the NBA where you can pressure them into changing. You can express your opinion. You can express your feelings on how you feel about something. They're going to change it. The Olympics are going to do what they want. At the end of the day, they're going to do what they want. All right. Now, if they do change the rules, then great. But I don't agree with racers being high during the race. All right. Because that could be a safety hazard. I see people who are extremely high to the point where they don't even know where they are. They're seeing things.
Doubt.
That's not safe neither. You got to run these races. Not only that, not just track, but like, let's take a sport like fencing. If you're high while you're fencing, that's kind of dangerous, a little bit, in my opinion. Just saying. You look at sports like wrestling. If you're high while wrestling, kind of dangerous. Boxing, kind of dangerous. It's not just track. All right. That's during the day. But if it's something that has been in her system for like 5, 6 days and she's completely straight and she's coordinated and she knows what she's doing, then I think it's stupid, Nate.
Right, like smoking weed is basically like drinking alcohol.
Right.
Literally what it
Right.
is.
Absolutely. You drink alcohol, you get drunk one day. The next day you wake up, you have a hangover. Probably in about a good 24 hours, you're back to normal. But it's probably still, again, it might be still in your, again, it could be, well, not really. Alcohol works different than that. But overall, Nate, that's what I'm trying to say right there. I do not agree that they should be high on the race day. Okay. Because some people are so
Absolutely.
high to the point where it's just a safety hazard. Like again, for instance, you could be running track. You're so high that you cross into the other person's path. Then what? You could be wrestling and you're so high that you grab the dude the wrong way. And then again, you know what I'm saying? Like fencing, you swing it the wrong way and you could. So it is a safety hazard. Boxing is the same way. Those sports right there. Basketball, same thing like that. Basketball could be that, but obviously there's been instances with players who have played high. But if we're talking about a test that was tested positive and you indicate that it was like 3 or 4 days after the actual event itself, I don't believe they should be suffering punishments like this. Again, and I said it, when they took away her awards, I think that was messed up. I think Sha'Carri Richardson deserved every award that she was awarded that night at the U.S. trials. She definitely earned it, without a doubt. Okay, but honestly, Nate, I do feel like they have to adjust these rules, but it doesn't matter what you or I are going to say. I don't think the Olympics are going to give in to pressure. I think they're going to have their own way, and I think that's that. It's as simple as that. The Olympics have been around for so long. It is one of the grandest sports stages in sports. It's as simple as that. You know, winning like a gold medal is an absolute, it's a real moment because not many people do it. So I don't think that the Olympics are going to change their rules off of pressure. They're going to change their rules if they feel like they should change the rules. It's as simple as that. But you know, with that being said, again, to Sha'Carri Richardson, I wish her the best of luck. Again, I'm sorry that this had to happen to her. Um, Again, you know, she talked about taking it because of a coping mechanism. You know, I completely understand that. Some people, everybody handles their grief differently, you know. Everybody does different things to handle their grief. Some things are healthier than others, some not so much. But overall, I think again, her getting her awards taken away from her and her again her medals and everything like that for at the U.S. trials, I just think that's absolutely messed up. And the fact that she's not going to be allowed in both the events, which means she's not going to be participating in Tokyo, I just think that's messed up too. At least let her participate in the relay. You know, the first event was one thing, but this, like, I mean, this is just a completely different thing. You know, this is just going a little bit too far. So with that being said, to Sha'Carri Richardson, I wish her the best of luck. Again, to Team USA, I wish you guys the best of luck as well in the Olympics. And yeah, Nate, it's just unfortunate.